function of dreams have been topics of scientific, philosophical, and religious interest throughout recorded history. Dream interpretation, practiced by the Babylonians in the 3rd millennium, and even earlier by the ancient Sumerians, figures prominently in religious texts in several traditions, and has played a lead role in psychotherapy. The scientific study of dreams is called oneirology. Most modern dream study focuses on the neurophysiology of dreams and on proposing and testing hypotheses regarding dream function. It is not known where in the brain dreams originate, if there is a single origin for dreams, or if multiple regions of the brain are involved, or what the purpose of dreaming is for the body or mind. So guys, here we are today with a topic that is heavily linked to ASMR and the sleep related area, and it is of course dreaming, which I think is something we all do in our lives. Or is it? I guess I'm assuming that it is, but maybe we'll find out throughout the course of this video. And whatever your experiences with dreaming may be, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So let me know if you do dream, if there's a running theme to them, or even if you don't dream at all. I'd be curious to hear from you guys. And one other point to make before we get started. The video that you're watching today is from another channel who has kindly allowed me to use it for this video. The channel name is Hand Movements ASMR. Feel free to check them out. I will drop a link to their channel down in the description. I thought it would be a fun addition to the channel for this video, and hopefully you guys find it visually relaxing to go along with our dream facts. So with all that being said, it's time to lay back, relax, and let yourself drift away as I whisper facts about dreaming today. And our first fact of the video is in fact the fact that everybody dreams. So that is a lot of facts. And the explanation is as follows. The brain is active all night long with particularly intense brain activity in the forebrain and midbrain during rapid eye movement, known as REM sleep, which is when we dream. Adults and babies alike dream for around 2 hours per night, even if they don't remember it upon waking. In fact, researchers have found that people usually have several dreams each night, each one typically lasting for between 5 to 20 minutes. Okay, and this is something that we learned at the beginning of the video, but some additional information here includes the fact that everybody dreams, which was something I was wondering at the start of the video as well. So it is confirmed, and personally speaking, I do have some crazy dreams myself, I have to be honest. But when I say crazy, I don't mean anything truly weird or disturbing. I just mean I dream a lot, and they could be really about anything, but mostly they are good. I will occasionally have a bad dream, but I would say for the most part, my experiences dreaming are fairly positive, and random is another good way to describe them. As much as 95% of all dreams are quickly forgotten shortly after waking. According to one theory about why dreams are so difficult to remember, the changes in the brain that occur during sleep do not support the information processing and storage needed for memory formation to take place. Forgetting dreams may also be due to changes in levels of certain neurotransmitters during REM sleep. Yet another study published in Frontiers of Psychology found a link between dream recall and the brain matter density of the medial prefrontal cortex. Participants with higher white matter density reported higher dream recall. Yeah, I often forget my dreams very quickly after waking up. I think it would be quite interesting to keep a dream journal of sorts, if you really care to remember them, that is. So basically, as soon as you wake up, you would take note of what the dream was about, and you could read it back at any point and remind yourself of what you've dreamt about in the past. I think it would be pretty interesting. While most people report dreaming in color, roughly 12% of people claim to only dream in black and white. In studies where dreamers have been awakened and asked to select colors from a chart that match those in their dreams, soft pastel colors are most frequently chosen. People who are under the age of 25 rarely report dreaming in black and white. People over the age of 55, however, report black and white dreams about 25% of the time. Researchers believe that this difference is a result of childhood exposure to black and white television. This idea is supported by an older study which found that people in the 1940s rarely reported dreaming in color. That's a very interesting fact, I think, and one that makes perfect sense. I do believe that our dreams are highly influenced by what we see on television, and if you were used to seeing only black and white television when you were younger, then it makes sense that you would dream in black and white. Researchers have found some differences between men and women when it comes to the content of their dreams. In several studies, men reported dreaming about weapons significantly more often than women did, while women dreamt about references to clothing more often than men. Another study study showed that men's dreams tend to have more aggressive content and physical activity, while women's dreams contain more rejection and exclusion, as well as more conversation and physical activity. Women tend to have slightly longer dreams that feature more characters. When it comes to the characters that typically appear in dreams, men dream about other men twice as often as they do about women, while women tend to dream about both sexes equally. I can't really relate to this fact. I can't honestly recall ever dreaming about weapons, but I would expect men and women to dream differently just because they are genetically made up slightly different, so you're always going to get some differences between the two, and in this case they do tend to dream slightly differently. Many think that when a sleeping dog wags its tail, or when a sleeping cat swats its paws, it is dreaming. While it's hard to say for sure whether this is truly the case, researchers believe that it's likely that most animals, including mammals, birds, reptiles, and fish, do go through sleep stages, including REM and non-REM, which means they do indeed dream. Oh, for sure, animals dream. Many of us have seen it firsthand. I had a cat who often slept on my lap, and I literally saw her dreaming. Well, what I believe to be dreaming. She would often quiver slightly or lick her lips, as if she was dreaming about eating something, for example. So yeah, 100%, I believe that animals dream. A lucid dream is one in which you are aware that you are dreaming, even though you're still asleep. Lucid dreaming is thought to be a combination state of both consciousness and REM sleep, during which you can often direct or control the dream content. Researchers say that people can use various techniques to learn how to lucid dream, including mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, known as mild, and senses-initiated lucid dreams, known as SSILD, which involve waking up after 5 hours and repeating a phrase like, "I will remember my dreaming," or focusing on the stimuli, sights, sounds, and sensations in your sleep environment, respectively. Lucid dreaming, I believe, is by far the best kind of dreaming, since you can somewhat control what happens, and it doesn't happen to be very often personally, but I know that it has, and even though I don't have any examples of what happened in those dreams, all I know is they were incredibly enjoyable experiences. Over a period of more than 40 years, researcher Calvin S. Hall, PhD, collected over 50,000 dream accounts from college students These reports were made available to the public during the 1990s by Hall's student William Dornhoff. The dream accounts revealed that many emotions are experienced during dreams that can impact the emotional content of dreams, including anxiety, stress, and certain medications. One study found that external stimuli, including good and bad smells, can play a role in positive and negative dreams. In one study of people who have been blind since birth, researchers found that they still seem to experience visual imagery in their dreams, and they also had eye movements that correlated to visual dream recall. Although their eye movements were fewer during REM than in sighted participants of the study, the blind participants reported the same dream sensations, including visual content. I love this fact because I've actually thought about it before, about whether or not blind people dream and what they see, especially people who were born blind and have never actually seen anything before. So this is a really good fact to include in this video. REM sleep is characterized by paralysis of the voluntary muscles. The phenomenon is known as REM atonia and prevents you from acting out your dreams while you're asleep. Basically, because motor neurons are not stimulated, your body does not move. While the experience can be frightening, experts advise that it is perfectly normal and should only last a few minutes before normal muscle control returns. I can't honestly say that I have experienced this or have any knowledge of it if I have, but it makes me think about sleep paralysis and how scary it is for people who experience that. I actually know a few people who experience it, and it sounds terrible. And if you suffer from it, I'm truly sorry for that, and I hope that in some way my videos and ASMR in general can help you deal with it in a small way. Night terrors or parasomnia are not the same as nightmares. They are episodes of screaming, intense fear, and flailing while still asleep. They affect from 1% to 4% of children between the ages of 4 and 12, while they are rare in adults. Often, night terrors occur in those who abuse drugs or alcohol, or have sleep disorders such as sleep apnea. And this is something else that I've heard about but never experienced, thankfully. I have what I would describe as a regular and settled sleep pattern, and I count myself very lucky for that. But even as a child, I slept well without any issues that I know of. While dreams are often heavily influenced by our personal experiences. Researchers have found that certain dream themes are very common across different cultures. For example, people from all over the world frequently dream about being chased, being attacked, or falling. Other common dream experiences include feeling frozen and unable to move, arriving late, flying, and being naked in public. And the one that stands out to me from that list is not being naked in public, thankfully, but it is being late, and it's a recurring dream I've had, albeit not that often, but it involves being asleep within the dream and waking up, and the time is either just before 8 PM or just after, and it's my football night, or soccer as you might call it, which I play on Mondays, and I just know that in the dream I'm not going to make it, and I just get this sinking feeling because I'm going to miss football, which is one of my favourite hobbies. So yeah, within that list, I most associate with being late, but I have had a number of dreams in which I experience falling, most notably at a fairground, being on the big wheel and falling off it, and the falling within the dream is generally in slow motion, is how I would experience it. But yeah, a lot of that list is probably something that most of us have experienced at some point or other in our lives. And do let me know how many of that list that you can tick off for having experienced before in your dreams, as I would be interested to know. You may think that you're dreaming a person you never saw before, but the truth is that we mostly dream about people that we have encountered in real life. The thing is that it is impossible to keep track of thousands of faces that we come across each day, so most likely we won't remember the person in our dreams. And this is a fascinating fact, and I think we've all had those dreams before when we're with someone that we're attracted to and being somewhat intimate, perhaps cuddling, etc., or just having a good time in general. But then you wake up and you realize that it wasn't real, and you get this sort of sad feeling that comes over you. But yeah, those dreams are disappointing, but hey, it's all part of life. And according to this fact, that person that you dream about is most likely someone that you've passed briefly on the street, for example. And finally, there's just a bit of information here that follows on from the recurring dream fact, and it is as follows. A recurrent dream is experienced frequently and repetitively. They occur in between 60 and 75% of adults, and more often in women than men. Theoretically, recurrent dreams are assumed to show the presence of unresolved conflicts or stressful situations in an individual's life. And we did touch on this briefly, and I mentioned she hasn't got a clue what to do. And there's this feeling of panic, of what am I going to do? I can't ask anyone, I will look bad, and I don't want to get fired on my first day. And I don't envy her at all for this recurring dream. She says it's not one bit enjoyable, but it goes to show you that a lot of people do have these recurring dreams. Well guys, that is almost it for this video, but I thought it was fascinating learning about dreaming, why we dream, etc. And obviously we only touched on the subject here today very briefly, and there's so much more to it, but I hope you enjoyed the facts contained within this video. And if you did enjoy them, be sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so, and also feel free to drop some topic suggestions down in the comment section for future topics that you would like to see covered on the channel. But a huge thank you for joining me today, and until next time, rest easy, sleep well, and I hope to see you again very soon for another video.